I was the first high school graduate in my family. My mom wasn't 100% excited about me wanting to be a barber, but she saw that I was really passionate about it. She signed me up for school. 20 years later, I opened up Premier Barber Institute. We started working on that in 2013. It's been a journey, man. A lot of stuff has happened.
Hey everyone, we are here at a seat worth taking. Today we have another special guest, Tyrik Jackson. I've met him 8 years ago.
Been in the industry over 30 years. Went to cosmetology school with my mom, and I did a barber apprenticeship program at the same time. I was doing that simultaneously because it's two separate boards here. Barbering school was it for me. Like becoming a barber was it. Like there was no plan B.
I want to go back a little bit on how we met. You know, one of the things at that moment, you was like, hey, come out. I'm like, dang, like you're in Pennsylvania. And I'm like, all right, we're going to go. And I don't know if I tell you the story, like, I think I drove Saturday. It was a snowstorm. Did I tell you this? And
I didn't know about the snowstorm,
yeah,
but I know that
like,
when you first asked me, here's what I remember too. And then I want you to share the snowstorm part. I remember you was like, hey, I was wondering if I could, pick your brain or do something like I would like to shadow you.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that I know for me. Like I was doing some coaching, I was charging, and you're like, well, I'm in Cincinnati. And I was just like, well, look, if you come down here, I'll give you my time.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be working, but you can hang out with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have some downtime, but I'm going to be working. I'm not going to designate just for you, but if you can come down, I'm going to give you my time. And you did. You was like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't got to pay for it. I'm coming.
Yeah, I mean, so let me tell you the story on that, right? I'm like, all right, everything looks good. The week before, all of a sudden, it was like, February, I think I went out there. Snowstorm comes through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm driving through the snowstorm the whole way through Ohio. I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I'm going to figure out how to make it. You know what I mean? And it was crazy. It was, I didn't know what to expect, honestly. You know what I mean? I just knew somebody gave me a time. So yeah, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna make it, but I'm gonna make it. And yeah, it was just one of those things. Like at that moment, I was looking for somebody to mentor me. And the area where I'm at, there is no mentorship. And I'm like, well, he's willing to open up his doors. I'm gonna go. And I didn't know what to expect. I just know I had a few questions. My wife came along with me. She's been through this journey. You know this from day one till forever. But yeah, it was didn't know what to expect, but when I first met you, you were super genuine right off the rip. And one thing that always stuck out with me, we talked for about like 15 minutes. You were like, hey man, like tell me what's going on, a little bit about yourself, but we were talking on social media, like what's really going on. I'm all right, man, like this was going on with the business. And I kind of explained it to you like, yeah, you're soft. That's why. That's exactly what you told me. You're just soft. And it's like, I was okay with it. I was okay with it because I was taking it more as a coach is coaching me right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I'm young. I'm 23, 24. How can I grow? And somebody obviously been in the industry for so long, I will have to listen to him at this point. You know what I mean? Why not?
Mm-hmm.
But it stuck out to me from day one, like how real and authentic you were. You know what I mean? And I always appreciate that about you. Because we have had numerous of conversations, and you'd be like,
yeah.
All right, bro. No, not you're right, but you're not right at all. You're right from your perspective, but you're not right.
Since that first time, it's interesting because you start to feel the person out, right?
Yeah.
And I know for me, I wouldn't I know that I wouldn't intentionally put somebody down, but I think just through the conversation that we had, some of the dialogue, when you came and you arrived, I'm like, oh, he's here. All right, cool. And when we started talking, I don't even remember saying, "Are you just soft?" But I know me, and I know that was one of those things. Like it's a reality check. Like you're allowing something to affect you, but it's like a coach, a basketball player saying, "Coach, every time I go, down the lane, they keep like bumping me." It's like, okay, well, your job, you just being soft. Like, come on, like you're gonna take some of those hits, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to take those hits, or what are we really talking about? And I know that when it comes, when people ask me for my time or they want to come and shadow, and I love that. I really love the real connection. I like to really feel, and then you could tell the people who are like wasting your time, right? And then you can tell the people who are genuinely like, look, So that's why I was like, hey, if you come down, I got you.
Yeah,
But even though I was working, I know that I prioritize time with you.
for sure.
And I know I prioritize asking real questions,
Hmm.
right? And putting the stuff that I was because there's things like I might want to know. And it's like, okay, what do you got going on? And like, what are you trying to get to? If I know where you're trying to get to, then let's come up with some sort of strategy.
Yeah.
And I remember a few things that happened that day. There were students cutting when we were down on the clinic floor at one
Hmm.
point. We were sitting at the front there just having some dialogue. And then I was still assisting students. But while I was doing it, I was processing what you were telling me. And I remember being a shop owner. I remember at one point in my shop ownership timeline, right,
Hmm.
how I felt. And some of the things you were telling me, I knew that pain. I knew
Hmm.
that frustration, right? So me saying soft, it was like, I got through that and I became tougher.
Yeah.
But I was also soft at one point when I was frustrated.
Hmm.
So that's so good. I didn't remember calling you soft.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it was like 15 minutes in. Like, yeah, you soft.
But
But
there have been people who come, they've asked questions, we've done some training, gave them some strategy. They don't take advantage of it. They don't apply the stuff. They don't, you know, implement any of the things that we were discussing. And it was just like, oh, that was cool. And for them, it was more like I got to do this thing. I posted it on social media and it
yeah.
was cool. And that was it. I didn't get that from you.
Yeah.
I got a guy who was a family man that was focused on his business, that was trying to figure out what the next step was, kind of like stuck and like I know there's
How
some
to
things I
elevate
want
it.
to do.
Yeah.
Right, right. How do I adjust what I'm doing? Or how do I get better with this? And then what other opportunities are there that I might not even be seeing, that you see. And I remember telling you some things to be careful of and
Hmm.
some warnings that I had. And and I'm not gonna lie to you, it lasted a lot longer than I thought it would. It did.
I got a funny story to tell you after this.
All right.
You're about to laugh on this one.
Okay.
But
I'm
yeah,
ready for all of it.
yeah, man. I mean, I think, I was at a point, and I've been through certain journeys of my life, right, with the barbering stuff, right? I was at a point like I was praying about it. I'm like, look, I want to quit. I don't have the right system. I can't
Right.
talk to nobody, and I was praying on it. And like, boom, I was watching some of your videos where this is when Instagram was like starting to
Yeah.
come up, and you had the knowledge you had and the poise you had behind just everything you had. I'm like, I want to not just be like this guy. I would like to be better than him in the future, not in a disrespectful way, but
Yeah, I know what you mean. I understand.
like this would be like the guy that I would like to, you know, uh, be a have be a mentor to me. And I was very at the point when you opened the doors to me. I'm like, I did not want to be that person of taking advantage of things. And something that clicked with me and how your principles are is, and what I learned from my parents is like always give, always serve somebody else. And I know you live by that. And I'm like, that's like some of the stuff that when I met you, I'm like, it's just clicking, you know what I mean? And I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I hope this relationship's it's not a one-time thing. It's not like every other time, you know? And it's just dope to be able to be here now and just,
To look back and reflect, yeah.
yeah, look back and reflect on this. So yeah, before I even keep going, I want to thank you. I always, this is part of this podcast. I want to bring people in that they don't receive their flowers when they're here
Mm-hmm.
alive. Everybody always wants to, "Oh, I remember, or this person's such great," but when we're alive, we don't get that. And I know in this
Mm-hmm.
industry that we're in is taking a big pivots right now, right? In the last
Yeah.
3 to 5 years. And for me, I think you're one of those definitely Mount Rushmore, you know what I mean? In our industry. I
Mm.
know some people don't want to accept that, but it's the truth, right? Um, and I always just been grateful for everything you have done because we have had short conversation, long conversation, personal,
Yeah.
business. And one thing, again, you've just been genuine, authentic, and you don't get that a lot in our industry. Talking about our industry right now, not even the world, in our industry.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just want these weird, I don't know, they're just on some weird stuff right now. Let's just call it
So,
that.
well, with that being said, let me ask you this. Um, and I may know the answer,
Yeah.
right? But I want you to think back and reflect because of the way the industry is, because the way that, you see stuff on social media and people are hype and people have these, they got these sound bites, these videos that pop and they have like a moment,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're like, wow, right? And then you meet that person in real time. And then you're like, oh man, like, dang, this is crazy. Like, this
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even what I thought of. So it probably, I know you told me, hey, I observed you for a while before I
Mm-hmm.
reached out to you. So I remember you saying that. But in that observation, was there anything that when we actually connected and we got together that you were like, oh, this is for real, right? I thought because I've been watching for a while, because it takes humility, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes just as a man, sometimes there's a pride that gets in the way. And in our
Right.
industry, there's the ego thing, right? Everybody's got an ego, everybody's the best cutter, everybody
Mm-hmm.
got the biggest business and blah, 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 blah. That's what people put out there. So from your perspective, um, what was it that when you finally connected that you were like, yeah, this is real and this guy is not putting I don't know how
But
to
yeah,
to
you put a
word it.
facade. So
Right.
so my thing is you responded back to the DMs, from
Hmm.
social media. You also allowed me to come to your space,
Hmm.
Um, and to me that's big. Like somebody, it's like allowing somebody inside your home,
Hmm.
right? It's your business. It's
Hmm.
essentially the same thing, right? In a way. Um, and then meeting you, you weren't like, oh, I'll just get to him or just have him wait or whatever. It was like, oh, he's here. Let me give him the attention he needs right away,
Hmm.
organically, authentically. I've been to shows before I even met you first, and you talk to somebody and you have to almost praise them to get attention. You know what I mean? And you're not like that. You know what I mean? Whoever it is, it could be. I've seen you. I've obviously shadowed you plenty of time. You have answered the questions over and over and over
Hmm.
again, but you don't get frustrated. You don't
Hmm.
like, oh, let me just give it to you right away. You still listen to them because you don't know, but it's authentic, because you want the other student or the other barber or the other business person to really understand or get something out of you. You know what I mean? You're
Hmm.
pouring into
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's really,
So what would you say to the younger or the newer barber that's watching this podcast that's like,
yeah,
hey, I want a Kevin experience. Not necessarily with me, but with whomever,
yeah.
right? I would like a Kevin experience with somebody that I want to mentor me or somebody that I would just if I could just link up with them and connect with them and maybe serve them or just if I
Mhm.
could sit and pick their brain, whatever. What would you say to a younger person that's their heart's desire to do that? What are a few tips that you would give them?
So number one, you're not going to get like the first person you reach out to, you look up to, you're not going to probably going to get the answer you're looking for. Like they're going to accept you into their world. Like you weren't the first one I reached out to be honest with you. I reached out to other people, but the only person that
Mm,
responded that was actually engagement with the conversation with you, was you. And I would say, yeah, like don't turn down, don't get discouraged if somebody doesn't respond or doesn't give you
mm,
the right answer or whatever it is. It means it's not for you. That's just why they're not,
yeah.
you're not getting the response you're looking for. So I would say that. And then I would also say have the right questions already lined
Mm,
up.
mhm.
I remember driving up there. It was me and the wife, and I'm like, all right, I gotta have at least five good solid questions. I
Yeah.
know I have them in my head, but I
Yeah.
gotta because I didn't want to waste your time, you
Hmm.
know. And I would say at least have five good questions, and then also don't just put yourself in a space of like, well, I'm here. Let me just be here for the moment, you know what I mean? And that's it. But just be like for the whole process of it. Like, don't
Mm,
just be here taking pictures, all this. Like, actually soak in and watch everything that's going on. Like the first day, because I was there, what, 3 days, 2, 3 days? Saturday,
Yeah,
Sunday, Monday,
yeah,
or
yeah.
something like
So
that.
we connected Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah,
You might have been there Saturday night, got there Sunday,
correct.
and then Monday, Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean the time being there, I took everything in. I was watching everything you were doing, you know what I mean? And you were genuinely like helping this person out. The bathroom happened, something in the bathroom, gotta fix this. Got Tyrik Talk Tuesday in 30 minutes, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, if I really want to excel, I have to be more open and vulnerable as well, you know what I mean, to
Hmm.
what's around
Hmm.
me. So I would say that to those,
Um,
to younger ones.
that that's cool because I wanted to know like what your experience was because, like I said, it takes some humility, right? A little pride and ego that you got to put aside, right? But when you want to elevate, you that's what you do. And then because you had that experience, what would be the thing that you would share to other people? I know for me, because it happens a lot, people hit me up. Um, I do my best in responding to everybody
Mm-hmm.
that reaches out to me. Um, Not every time, is it a hey, don't worry about what it costs, just show up, right? Because I do a lot of different coaching, and sometimes I might even have the time to coach someone. Like there's other stuff going on. I just don't have the time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done a couple people who want to open up some schools. They've come out and done some coaching and training. Those are like really like 3 day long, 6 to 8 hours a day
Yeah.
of just digging, digging, digging. And for me, I do usually send out, like you said, have 5 questions. I usually send out a thing that says, hey, when you come or when you arrive or when we get on our call, you need to have your questions in order so we can maximize your time.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing I tell people is I'll have a list of questions for you that I already have kind of set up,
Right.
right? Which makes it easier because a lot of times you may not even know what to ask. Like I know I want to talk about this, but then just like you and I, when
Mm-hmm.
we start talking, it's it would open up other doors that maybe I wasn't thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
You probably wasn't thinking about it because you were probably surfaced with this. And it was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, because that door opens up 6 more doors, right? And
Yeah.
then we go into this deeper, deeper space. And so I don't want to waste people's time. I want to maximize their time
Mm-hmm.
while they're with me. And I hope that when they leave, they get the value and they're like, this was worth it. Like
Mm-hmm.
this was, I don't want the Instagram soundbite. And at the time, for a lot of times, I was filming while we were talking. Right
Yeah.
at first, I wasn't, but then there were times like, okay, we're gonna have some dialogue. We might pull some content, and we had a really, really good
Yeah.
video. That
Yeah.
when with you, your wife and I, we sat down and we were eating. I remember I put that video out, and I think
That
I
was
was
the highest one you had at that moment.
at that time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, at that time, yeah, it was crazy because we were just having dialogue. It was real conversation. It wasn't putting on a show, but because we're talking, just like we're recording right now, you don't know what you're going to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm recording. We're having genuine conversation, and something came up, and I started talking about it. And it was like, whoa! I think that one had to do with the intruder inside, right?
I
That
think
was like
so.
yeah, like when I was like going through it and I didn't want to be I didn't want to have a hand in my own destruction, so to speak, just to use
Mm-hmm.
better words. Because mental illness and mental awareness is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was talking about being depressed. That was one of the videos. The other one was the guy who he wasn't ready for the haircut, and I did the haircut.
Yeah. 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 So
Interesting stuff, man.
yeah, so I wanted to ask you a few questions, man. Like,
Yeah.
I know a lot of, of your journey. And a lot of people that do know or follow you know a lot about your stuff. But um, what would you say, or how can I word this? For what's going on in the generation now as a whole in the world, right? And also in our barbering generation. What do you think should start? What are the things like the bad habits that need to be kind of, you know,
You know, there. So
because there's a
if
lot
you're
of bad
talking
habits
about
right now.
like, yeah, it's all kinds. Um, and a lot of times I'm hyper focused on I'm more solution based. Like
Yeah.
when I see a problem, I want to come up with a solution. I'm not honing in on a problem. Like, oh, there's a problem, there's a problem, there's a problem. But there are problems. There are some challenges that we're being faced as shop owners. So the challenge, a few challenges, right now, and this is not just a barbering thing.
Right.
Like I have teenagers, and teenagers and younger people want to communicate the way they want to communicate, right? When I grew up, I was told to look somebody in the eye, shake their hand, and speak to them. And when I have people who want a job and they call me or send me a DM and say, hey, was wondering if you're hiring, it's an immediate red flag for me, right? If you're calling me, asking me if I have a job opportunity, um, that's better than a DM, but it
Right.
still ain't good enough.
Yeah.
A DM is you copy and pasted some message and you send it to 10 barbershops and you're hoping somebody bites on the hook, right?
Especially with AI right now, right?
Oh my gosh, just not even. Absolutely. Listen, I don't even want to. Those people don't get jobs.
Yeah.
They're just not getting a job. This industry, the barbering space, is a it is a upfront, in your face, connecting with people type of
Hmm.
business. So if you want a job as a barber, right? Stylist, makeup artist, nail tech, whatever it is, right? Go and show your face,
Yeah.
right? Go and talk to the person, introduce yourself, look them in the eye, shake their hand and say, hey, how you doing? My name is Tyrik. I'm just graduating from barber school. I'm excited. I already scheduled my exam. I was wondering if you had a place, a spot open, or if there's any space for me, whatever. Like, let me feel your energy. Let me look at you.
Hmm.
Do you look well groomed? Do you look like you take care of yourself? Right? Do you have the ability to just talk? Because you're going to sit in a chair and people are going to come in. And if you don't even know how to talk to people when they walk in the door, you're probably not going to be a good asset to the business.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things we do work on at the school because it's the soft skills. So when you're talking about some of the challenges, it's really focusing on listen, you're going to cut hair, you're
Yeah.
going to get better. You're going to do these skills, you're going to pass your state board exam. Fine. What are the areas that you need to improve on? Do you know how to talk to people? Do
Right.
you know how to communicate with you? Do you know how to prepare for what are you going to do when somebody's disgruntled or they don't like your haircut because you're not going to please everybody? How do
Hmm.
you manage that kind of stuff? I think it's a lot more soft skills. And I think people are so hyper focused on looking good on social media, right? Doing things that make them look better, but they're not really working on the soft skills that make them better.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with you. That's some of the stuff that, people calling. I'm like, all right, let's set up a meeting. They're like, I'm like, yeah, you gotta come in the shop. I gotta see who you
Yeah.
are, what you got going on.
Yeah.
I
Don't
already
just
got
DM me so
clientele.
I
I'm
can look
like,
at your page. Right.
I already got clientele. I'm like, it's more than just having
Yeah.
clientele, you know?
You know what's crazy? I don't even care about that.
I'm at a point we can work on that.
I don't even want to look at your haircuts
Yeah.
on social media. Can you
Yeah.
come in here and and here's the thing, I got two open chairs and I haven't hired anybody, right? I haven't put anything out that I'm looking to hire anybody. It's not that I don't want, it's more revenue for me if I do hire someone, right?
You're in a,
Really easy.
yeah.
But I'm just like, man, look,
I got I got one suite open. I'm like, I'm not gonna fill it up to diminish everything else that's going on. Everything's flowing
yeah,
right now.
everything's flowing. Like we got good energy, everything's popping. And not for nothing.
And I
Here's where
had
I'm at.
and I had two people already call this past week. I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
I mean, I still want them to come and take a look at it, right? I still
No, yeah,
want
I did.
that.
Yeah.
But as far as the energy in the shop, one of the things that I do, a lot of times I do, it's not even, it's something that's almost every single time somebody wants to work at the shop, it's what I say.
Hmm.
When they come in and we meet up, I say, hey, did you talk to the other barbers? Oh, no, nah, like you need to go say hi to them, right?
Hmm.
Talk to them, have a conversation with them. I want you to say, how long, what are the challenges you have as a barber working here? Right? What is the expectation for a barber? Don't talk to me, talk to them. And the
Yeah.
biggest reason I'd say that is because I want them to see that there's a standard walking in, number one. Number two, you're not going to be cutting next to me every day. You're going to be cutting next to them. And if they don't feel that energy, that vibe from you, then you might not be cut out for this space.
Same here. Same here.
Boy, you been growing up.
Man, haven't I? So I'm gonna switch it up. Something that I've learned and I fell in love with was golf. And I know that's something that you enjoy and love.
Love it.
What makes you golf almost every week? I know nobody's ever asked that question.
Played today. It was 25 mile per hour winds. When you go to my stories, I want you to see the flag. This is no joke. Right? You can, if you want that video so you can insert it in this clip, I'm gonna give it to you. Let me tell you something. I'm around people all day long. I'm around fixing problems all day long, from a student to an instructor, observing. I'm in the shop, I'm cutting hair clients. I'm on the phone, technology. Playing golf is not only very challenging for me, right? But it's something that I can improve on, and it's a self-improvement, right? It's not on, I can rely on somebody else to do something to improve something, because I can easily delegate a task to somebody at the shop, and it would improve the overall experience at the shop. Like if it's something cleaning up, hey, you take care of the mirrors. That's an overall experience in the shop, and the mirrors are clean. I'm just using that as an example. But with golf, it's self-improvement. I'm going to get frustrated. I'm not going to be happy. I'm going to hit a bad shot. I got to go and fix that shot. But I'm away from the technology. I'm not on the phone. I'm not dealing with a whole bunch of people that I would really deal with. And the challenge is that I'm working on myself the entire time, right? I'm in the environment. I've always been an outside kid. You know, I'm a 70s baby, but I grew up in the 80s, and we went outside all day long. I'm an outside kid. I love being outside, riding a bike, skateboard, climbing trees. I was doing all kind of stuff. I would paint literally as a kid. We would go down to the store, get our little toy guns, right, and play like manhunt and stuff. But we would be shooting each other and all that. But I would go and get face paint. And I would wear camouflage, and I would hide in the bushes and in the leaves. And I mean, I was like really about that, right? So I was an outside kid. So now when you want me to do something, like, where do I want to be? Outside. And golf is one of those things that gets me outside. I love it outside. It was 20-something mile an hour, 21 to 25 mile an hour winds at times. It was down to like 15, 16 at times. But dude, when you see the wind on that video, I'm going to send you. It was crazy. I shot at 87 and I wasn't happy with it, right? Because I had a 9 on the card. And I still shot at 87. I should have shot I had 2 birdies and 6 birdie chances. No, 8 birdie chances. You know, and I was hitting low shots. You know, because I was hitting low shots. I wasn't hitting high shots. I was balling today. And we have skins matches. So the cool thing is, some of the guys I play with, there's some betting going on. I've never been a betting guy, ever. But this is like fun, friendly, it's challenging, keeps you focused. Yeah. And I won some good money today. So it was fun.
That's what's up.
So we was talking a little bit about golf, right? Yeah. It's definitely, yes, it's self-improvement. It's really self-improvement. I think one of the things you can do when you start playing with other people to play golf, you start to figure out people you could trust. Because, you know, it's an honesty game.
I'll give you a story on that.
Talk to me.
It's a good client. So I love him. We played golf one day, right? It was like it's probably like a 480, 460. Smoked the drive. He's all over the place. Second shot, I'm on the edge of the green. I'm like, oh,
right on the French.
I'm like, oh, I'm about to get him today. So I pull the cart around, right? I'm like, oh, man, go ahead. He was chipping and all this stuff. I'm like, go ahead, I'll meet you in the front. I'm coming back to chip and putt now. My ball is like 20, 40 yards behind. I'm like, yo, where's my ball? He's like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, that taught me the lesson of trusting people right then and there. I'm like, I literally just drove the cart around to the front of, on the side of the green, and I can't trust you for a minute because I'm beating you right now. And it was the first hole. It wasn't even like, it was the beginning. And I'm like, you're a great guy, but I know how far I can take it now, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's definitely an
I like
integrity
to
thing.
play, and I think you're the same way. We play it as it is, right? Like just
Yeah.
enjoy it, but play it, right? And I've been with people like, oh, I shoot 80, 80, 80. And I'm like looking at they're duffing their
Uh-huh.
shots, they're doing this. I'm like, yeah, anybody can play 80, high 80s or mid 80s like that.
Mhm.
And people come quick to realize they don't like playing with me right away because of that. But
I did.
my thing is honesty, you know.
Yeah.
It's not about, yeah, we can play those rounds, right? Like, hey, we're just gonna play, have fun, and da da da. But when we're setting from the beginning, we're gonna play our best. To me,
Yeah.
our best is, hey, we're gonna give it our all. We're gonna whatever happens, happens, you know.
Yeah.
And
If you have
I've
a bad
learned,
hole, you got a bad hole. It is what it is.
yeah, and but I've learned how much people shortcut themselves with life through golf.
Mm,
I'm like, yeah, what the life you live in, the stuff, the way you're doing your principles, when you're in front of somebody,
yeah.
it's not the same way when it's closed doors. And I've learned a lot,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
golf.
We have a group of guys. I play with a couple of different groups of guys, and one group in particular. Well, I'll tell you two stories real quick. Um, there's a guy we'd always screenshot our scores and send him in the score, and he would only send all the good scores, right? It's always the good scores. I send my bad scores. I send my good scores. It's like when you shot a really good score, it's like okay, but you've been playing. Where's the other scores at? And we would never see them. And then what would happen is you create your handicap, right, based on your
Right.
scores. And then we would get out and play. And it's like every time we play, like your game is not reflecting the
The
scores that you've been
scores.
sending,
Yeah.
right? So I don't want to bet with you, right?
Hmm.
I don't even know if I want you to be my teammate if we're doing a team bet or a challenge because you hit one out of bounds, you're not going to take the correct score. You're going to take a drop, but oh, this is three when you should have been like four. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like just little things that come up. And today I shot a 45 on the front with a nine. With a nine. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to put a nine on their card, but I still shot a 45
Hmm.
with a nine, right? And I'm playing with guys, we're betting, so everybody's keeping track of their score. I'm cooking. I'm playing well. I had that one hole because it clipped the tree, put it out of bounds. I had to take a drop and I hit it, but not out of bounds. I just put it in some high stuff. Take a
Hmm.
drop, and I asked him, "What's the rule here? Is it drop plus an extra one, or is it?" It's like, no, it's just drop and you take your stroke. So I was hitting three instead of two, right? Then I hit it and hit another tree, went out. I'm hitting five instead of four, right? And it's
Yeah.
like but still, it's about integrity, it's about honesty, and those guys know that they can trust me when we play, right? And,
Right.
and other stuff too. Like
It
just
leads, yeah, it leads to anything outside of golf.
I
And
can do business with you.
exactly.
I can do business with you. I can trust you with this,
Yeah.
and so
And so with golf, like I like the challenge of it because you're challenging yourself, not anybody else around you, right? It's almost like my son does wrestling. It's him and the other part, his
that's it.
opponent. That's it. If he loses, why did you lose?
Mhm.
Golf is similar, right? And that's something that I liked about it, just challenging yourself because we get into this rhythm of once you get to in our business, it's a rhythm now. And
Yeah,
it's like, okay, it's the same thing over and over. But with golf,
yeah.
it's like you can play the same course, you're not going to shoot the same ever,
You're never going to shoot the same. Yeah,
you
it's
know?
going to be tough. Yeah,
And
I, I,
so
I
I
know.
like that because it just keeps me like level-headed with that stuff, with life. Like,
Mm,
okay, like I got to look at life the same way, even though like I'm going through the same motions. Like, hey,
yeah.
you know, keep my head on the swivel though, still, you
You know,
know?
I've been in business with people, and I really understood that a lot of people lack like patience in business. And I don't
Hmm.
mean patience like, oh, it'll happen and I'm just being patient. But no, when things come up, just managing your emotions and exercising patience,
Yeah.
right? And not allowing that to take over the moment. And in business, one of the things I've learned is when you allow your emotions to get in the way, it clouds your better judgment.
Yes.
And when you're angry or you're frustrated, say it's something and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. And you go to anger and frustration, you cloud your judgment and then you forget about all the other tools that you have,
Yeah.
right? My business partner, love him to death. We're yin and yang, right? But I love Dan. Dan's awesome. He's great for the business. We work well together. He's on point. But we call him a teapot. He knows it. I listen. I ain't on this podcast talking about him. He's brewing. He's steaming. We know that he's about to flip his lid any minute. Certain things like don't. I'll deal with that. Just bring that to me because I already know if you go in there, you're going. He's gonna flip his lid, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's not that that's where he is, right? He's almost 60. So he's not.
Yeah.
He's not going to change that, right? There were times where we're discussing stuff that's happening, or something with a student, or something with even, because we're accredited school, so a lot we
Mhm.
have to follow guidelines and government changes and whatnot. And when there's something that frustrates him, he'll come to me, he'll talk to me, and I would be like this, hmm hmm and he's like, you don't, and he's like freaking out, and I'm like, and he would say to me, "You're not taking this serious," and I'm like, "No, I'm taking this serious." He's like, "Well, I can't." I'm like, because I'm not yelling and flipping out doesn't mean I'm not taking it serious.
All right.
I just exercise patience because I'm looking at all the other tools I have. Okay,
Correct.
how can I problem solve this? I need to hear everything you're giving me, because if you're giving me something and I get frustrated and angry, I'm only going to respond one way and I
Mhm.
forget about all the other tools that I can, exercise to fix whatever this problem is. So
Yeah.
I think for some people in business, if you're listening to this, um, you really, really have to have self-control
Yeah.
and manage, especially the higher you go,
Right. So
right? But it's just you. But it's
yeah.
just you cutting behind the chair.
It's
You got a client you don't like, it's whatever. When you got two other barbers next to you and somebody does something, you're like, all right, listen, you know, you got to learn to manage it. With me at one point, I had several shops. I had 16 guys working, and I'm doing the school, and I got instructors, and I got students, and it's like, and I got a family. We didn't even talk about the family, right?
hmm
I got family stuff going on. And it's just, how are you managing all these things, right? And still doing the stuff that's got to get done, right?
Yeah.
Feeling the frustration, feeling the pain. You know, man, we talk about cars. I wait till we can go there if you want to, because I'm gonna tell you what, man. I had a month about 2.5 months ago. I had an entire month was like, yeah. And people were like, dude, you're just like super calm. I'm like, we,
What do you want me to do? See,
we,
see, so that's where I'm at now, right? I've been through all the ups and downs the last 10 years, and my wife is like, you seem more like calm now. I'm like, I've been through it all at this point. You weather the storm. If you try to make adjustments right away, which is a good thing if you do it right,
Mhm.
but if you do
Oh,
it,
if you do it right.
yeah,
If you do it right. Go ahead.
yeah, if you do it right, right, it will, you know, go in the right direction with it, right? But when you emotionally start doing things, my thing was pride, right? Like I didn't want the business to go a certain way because if this happens, it's always gonna look like this. So I always like stress myself out with that.
Mhm,
Now it's like, oh, I'll give you a scenario. The uh the hand dryer at the one of the bathrooms,
mhm.
it automatically turned on. It was on for hours. And you already know that's a no-no. The guys didn't say nothing to me for a while. I'm like, guys, like, what's going on? Like, oh, somebody else came and told me. I'm like, okay, cool. They're like, afterwards, like, why are you so calm and collected? I'm like, what do you want me to do? Get mad at you guys? Get mad at the world? I'm like, no, I just turn off the breaker. Nobody can use the bathroom for right now. At the end of the day, I'll come back and I'll fix it. And my
Yeah.
client in the chair, he works also, he has his own business practice. And he's like, man, you handle that very well. I'm like, I'm at a point in my life, like I'm not gonna let that affect me and affect what I got
Yeah.
going on at the moment, which is me cutting your hair right now and having this great conversation. I'll just turn off the breaker and,
Yeah.
and call it a
You can
day.
internally, you can internally be like it was on for 4 hours and nobody told me. Okay. Like just here,
Yeah.
right? And you might even be like, guys, it would be great if you let me know this stuff earlier because I could have fixed this earlier.
I mean,
But
the
okay.
whole place could blow up,
Yeah.
caught on
It's
fire.
overheat, wires
Oh, it
get
was. It
hot, all
was
kind of
hot.
stuff.
It was
I
hot.
bet it was. Bro, I came in the shop one day and my clipper, my liner was on all night. I
Yeah.
walked in and I was like, you could hear the little vibration in the drawer. And I was like, what? I'm like, what is that? I go over to my drawer and I go to grab my clipper and burn my fingers. It was
Dang.
that hot. I was like, could have burned the shop down, you
Yeah.
know. Hopefully the next time we could do it in person, that'd be great, right? Because I would like to do that. Listen, not for nothing, when you had sent the invite originally,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, how can I get up there and do this? Da, 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 da. Like, okay, because I had so many things going on this week,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
it's what it is. We'll figure it out. But thank you
Yeah.
for having me on the show.
Nah, man, I appreciate you as always. Again, my thing, and I've talked to you plenty of times. I haven't expressed it to the public. Is, I appreciate you being honest from day one. Always being true to who you are. You don't hide like, hey, I'm gonna be this person as a barber, and then I'm this whole other person outside of. Because I've
Mhm.
seen it. I've seen it with
Yeah.
other barbers. Like, dang, you look like this, but you're over here doing a whole different
Mhm.
lifestyle. You know what I mean? I appreciate you just being, a great human being. Let's just wrap it up
Thank
like
you.
that. A great human being.
I appreciate that.
There's not a lot of that in this world, and I do appreciate that you're in my life and you're one of those.
Thank you.
Because I can call you anytime, and I know you're gonna get back to me one way or another. And my whole thing, so sometimes I tell my wife all the time, I always overthink this. Like, I just don't want to bother him. I don't want to bother him because I know he's so busy.
Nah.
No, but just because I know
Yeah.
your lifestyle, I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, like, and I've told you about it, I'm like, I don't bother you because
Mhm.
I know, you're what you got
Yeah.
going on 24/7.
Yeah.
And but I always do appreciate every time you do take out of your busy day. And it's always been productive. And that's something that I love. You know what I mean? Even if it's talking shit, we're still productive at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Because some way, somehow, like, so do you know the information about da 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 da? And the guys get on me because I'm like that with them. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, you gotta know about the health situation because da da da. I'm like, they're like, where do you get this from? I'm like, man, I don't know. But it's just great conversations. But
Absolutely.
man, I appreciate you. Thank you. And
Absolutely.
yeah, we'll definitely do this again, man.
Let's do it again.
Yes, sir. And I'll call you.
All right. Sounds good.
All right,
All
man.
right. Yeah.
See you.